Hello, I'm Wes Davenport, the Director for Graduate Programs in the College of Business at the University of North Alabama, and therefore the Director for the Executive DBA program at UNA. And I want to take this opportunity to share with you a little bit about the dissertation process that occurs in the EDBA program. So the EDBA program as a terminal degree does have a dissertation requirement. It's an applied dissertation, which is just one of the ways that DBA programs typically differ somewhat from PhD programs. Oftentimes in a PhD program, dissertation and research tends to be more what we call basic research or theoretical research. DBA programs, and particularly EDBA programs, often will focus on more applied topics, so solving real-world business problems through research. And so that's the emphasis of the dissertation at the EDBA program at UNA. And so typically what we'll see from a student who's completing a dissertation is they'll often look to their own organization, so whatever organization they're currently working for, and we'll look for an existing problem or an opportunity, something going on in that company they'd like to understand better, to be able to solve, to be able to improve, and then take the research skills they're using and learning in the DBA program and apply them to that specific applied business problem. And so it's a benefit not only for the student, who's typically an employee, a member of that organization, but also for the organization as a whole, because oftentimes these organizations are supporting the students as they go through the program, maybe financially, certainly with flexibility in their scheduling. And so one way that the organization benefits from the student going through the program is the possibility to kind of solve, like I said, this existing organizational problem or enhance some opportunity they have. So it's really a benefit for both the student and for the company that they may be working for. So a little bit about kind of how the dissertation process works and how it will get started. So in year one, you start doing your coursework. And as I mentioned in a previous video that talks about coursework, all of the coursework we do in the EDBA program is kind of getting us ready for that dissertation, right? So it's leading you to that process, giving you the tools you'll need to be able to complete independent applied research. And so early on, you'll take your methods classes, your statistics classes. This is going to prepare you to be able to do the research. You're going to take classes in topical classes, hot topics classes, the UNA unique classes I mentioned. These are going to give you ideas for research. You're going to get to read current articles on what's going on in the field and give you some ideas of maybe some gaps in the existing knowledge we have about certain topics. So you can say, hey, this is an area I want to focus on. I want to kind of fill that gap and better understand what's going on here. And so that's the process we use to kind of develop a dissertation topic or an idea. Students will be meeting with faculty on these residency weekends, and they'll start to develop relationships with faculty and figure out maybe if there's a faculty member who has a similar interest that they share, also who has a working style, an approach that fits well with them, and a collaborative approach that they would want to work with. So that'll be going on during years 1 and 2 as you're kind of developing your identity around research and what topics you find interesting. We do require that students participate in at least one academic conference during those years, and that's another way for students to get outside of the bubble and see other ideas and other approaches for research and topics that they might want to consider for their dissertation. And then as they kind of close in on that year 2, particularly the fall of year 2, hopefully they've identified some folks they would like to work with, possibly a dissertation chair. And during that fall of year 2, we'll do a matching process where we try to put students with the faculty that they have identified, or if they haven't yet identified one, try to match them with one, and also with another group of students. So other students who have research interests similar to them, who will kind of be a mini cohort to work on that dissertation process with. It's an independent project, but certainly having other students who are involved in similar topics can help you with that learning curve and help you to being supportive as you go through your dissertation. And so in year 2, you'll take a dissertation design class, and in that class, you'll get the nuts and bolts for how to set up your dissertation, and that will be the jumping off point for a lot of people to start that dissertation process. When you exit that class, we want you to exit with your proposal. We want you to have a full proposal document to be able to get that proposal done and be on your way with, if you have data collection or whatever your next step is in your process to do your research. So that's kind of the dissertation process. And then in year 3, you'll continue meeting with your chair, your committee members, and your kind of mini cohort of students to work on that dissertation and get that finished up, so that by the end of year 3, you're good to go, and you finished your dissertation, ready to graduate and be called a doctor, right? So I hope that helps as you think about the dissertation process. Hope you have a great day. Thanks.